My baby is dirty. I'm gonna clean you. I always try to keep my truck clean. I hate it when it's dirty. The problem is in the spring and the winter time, it's hard. It's hard to keep them clean. Oh, don't worry, girl. I'm gonna shine you up real nice like. So I got this new tool here. Actually got it about a year ago. I was gonna do a video on it. I'm lazy. But I am hoping that this is going to solve my issue of having a dirty truck. At the same time, save me some money so I don't have to spend it all on the car washes. So first we're gonna open this up and see what it comes with, and then we're gonna scrub a dub. And hopefully this will save me some money. Well, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and open this bad boy up, see what we got going on right here. So it seems to me that we have some directions. We don't need those. You know what? Let's just hold on to those. All right, so what we got here is the Ryobi, not Ryobi. It's an 18-volt scrubber. Now, this just isn't for your cars or your trucks. You can use this on your house, your siding, your windows, all that. This thing's a real pain in the butt to get out of here. Now, we're going to scrub a dub my truck, but I want to show you sort of how this thing goes together. Just in case you end up getting this thing and you're a little bit curious or you threw the directions out like me. It's actually very simple to use, and here's what comes with it. You're going to get the scrub head, you're going to get the handle, which it's super easy to install it. Then you got some soapage and you got your soap container. Super easy to put your battery in here. Now, the reason this is designed like this is because you don't want any water on the battery. You don't plug this thing in. This is actually powered by, well, this right here. We're going to use a 4AH 18-volt 1+ battery. We're just going to throw it in the back like so, and you're going to lock that down. And again, what's nice is it's a safety container. Basically, it keeps your batteries from getting moist. Now, on the front here, you have an adjustable head. We'll talk about this here in a bit, but it's very simple to use. You just push this button down, and it's going to lock into different positions. I think this might have came out on the box here, so this sort of goes in like that. So the handle is actually really easy to put on. You just adjust it to where you want it and then tighten it down with the screw. Oh, and by the way, remember I was telling you about this is good for siding as well? Well, look what I just found. Those birds are a-holes. So this thing goes together pretty simple. If you wanted to put the attachment on, all you got to do is sort of put it on. You don't have to worry about any screws, but look how it goes on there. You just like turn it and then it'll lock into place. And believe me, it doesn't go anywhere. I thought maybe it would, but it doesn't. So again, what's nice about this is it's super easy if you needed to change this thing out for a new one, or if you just wanted to take this off for storage or to clean it, well, super fast. Okay, so we're going to fill up our Scrub a Dub soap here. It's the Ryobi soap, and we're going to put, oh, I already messed it up. If I would have read the instructions, I would have seen that I shouldn't go past that max line, but I'm a rebel, and I live my life on the edge. So now all you got to do is take that container and screw it down to the bottom. It holds on pretty good. You can get it nice and snug like. Ooh, that's metal. So you do have a filter screen and you have your rubber washer to prevent leaking. Now, I would recommend that you take your car and you rinse it off first to get all that heavy nasty off there. Then once you're done doing that, you just take your hose and you hook it up directly to that metal shiny thing and we'll screw it in there real tight like and such. Now, the reason I'm really excited about trying this and hoping it works is because car washes do a horrible job on my running boards, my wheels, which they're never clean. And then ultimately, I always end up with soap and crud underneath my rain guards on the windows. It's a nightmare. Fun fact for you. Did you know that if you took RAM, spelled it backwards, removed the R, added an N, that would spell man. All right, we're all hooked up and look at that face. It's angelic. Check that out. When I put it on water, it just starts spraying. So you don't have to pull a trigger. What is, oh, that turns it on. Okay. All right, so that's soap. All right, so how it works is you turn it on with the water and the water starts spraying out like so. Soap, water. And then if I want the soap, I just turn that on, the soap comes out. You do not have to turn it all the way to the off position if you don't want to. It'll shut off if you put it in between the water and the soap. Why am I so out of breath right now? I'll tell you though, that soap, it smells real nice like. And then on the back right here, you got a power button which turns your brush on. All right, let's try the top of the truck first. Now, this thing has a 6-inch lift on it. I look very small, weak, and feeble next to it, and I'm 6 foot tall. But what we're going to do is we're going to hit it with the soap. And you can see I can't even reach that handle. I do wish it would telescope a little bit more. However, I don't think it's going to play that big of a role because the truck just sits up so high. But I got the soap on, and then I switch it over to the water because a little bit of soap on this thing goes a long way. And then you can see I'm sort of just like holding it where I can. Anybody that drives a lifted truck, I mean, yeah, they look pretty good for some people. They're just not very practical. I'm just being honest with you. A lot of soap already on that, and all I'm using now is the water. The water. I just turned it onto the water setting. And now I'm scrub-a-dubbing. Now you can adjust it, and I'll show you that here in a bit. You can adjust the head for different angles. That's going to come in handy, but it's also going to be kind of frustrating as well. All right, so we did the top, and now we're going to do sides. And you can see the soap, you do not need that much soap. I mean, this really does spray a very good amount on there. So again, my friend, that's real nice. And then I'm just going to move this over to the water. I'm going to keep the water on because I don't want any dry. I want to keep this truck moist. Okay, I want to keep the water on there. So if there's any nasty on there dirt, I don't really want to scratch anything. This is where it gets a little bit frustrating. You have to, if you don't shut this thing off all the time, you're gonna get moist. Okay, the water's gonna get you in the face. Okay, but I'm lazy, as I mentioned to you. But it does do a good job getting all that dirt and grime off there. Once you do adjust that head for the different angle. Now, the lower I go on the truck, the more I'm going to have to adjust the head. The higher on the truck, the more I'm going to have to adjust the head. It does get a little bit frustrating. So let me just shut this off right here. I want to give you the best angle I can give you. Now, this is one of my issues with this, but it's my fault. There's a little bit of water coming out of the hose. A little bit, not a lot. But I have my hose pressure all the way up. What I should have probably done is turned my hose only like quarter of the way up or maybe half of the way up, and that way it's not using all the water that I'm putting in there. So you're going to get some leakage out the back. But here I go. I got to adjust the head again. I guess I could have shut the water off. It does get a little bit frustrating when you have to do those different angle adjustments. But all in all, I mean, it's scrub-a-dubbing. It's looking good. It's looking real nice. Now, the handle does come in handy if you're not up so high, but again, this sits up pretty freaking high. We're doing the tonneau cover. The one thing I will also say about this, you really need to make sure that you cover every square inch of your automobile. The brush on this is a little bit smaller, so if you don't cover everything, you're going to end up with the dirt smudges. You're going to end up with things that you just didn't clean, and when the truck or car dries, you're going to be really upset with yourself, and you're going to have to go back over it. So that's the one thing I will say. This is not covering the entire area with large swaths. If you were using a sponge, you would probably cover more surface area quicker, much faster. However, this is really good for the heavier dirt grime. Now, let me explain to you why I decided to get this thing here. In my area, we are being littered throughout the county with these horrendously ugly looking car washes. They're worse than dollar stores now at this point. And the reason for that is because, number one, they're not that expensive to build. They're very cheap to operate. Not too much manpower or woman power to sit there and operate the thing, right? So the payroll's not that high. And then on top of that, you end up having these memberships that you start out at $10 a month when they first open, and then they jack them up to $30, $35 a month, and you're stuck with them. You're paying something that you probably don't even use that much, or you just forget about, and they're always getting that money. The other thing about it is, the older car washes, now they're actually charging you more money to dry your car. So it used to be that you would pay to get your car washed, and then at the end of the car wash, it would just dry your vehicle when you were pulling out. Now they are charging you like $2 or $3 additionally just to dry the automobile. So I'm done with it. I'm boycotting these car washes. The other reason why I'm boycotting the car washes is they don't do a good job, especially if you have like a lifted truck. I'm just being honest with you. You can say, oh, it's on you, Clint. You got the lifted truck. I'm sorry I got the lifted truck, but I'm a customer as well, right? They do a horrendous job with the running boards. Now, I do have to adjust. This is where you got to find your angle on this thing here. See? But they never get my running boards clean, ever. Or my wheels clean. I'll test this out on the wheels here in a bit. Now, you will say, hey, I'm rubbing up against the paint a little bit. It's all rubber on the outside, so you're not going to scratch the car or the truck. You're going to be all right. You're going to be able to get in those weird angles, too. You can adjust the head on this. And again, the other thing that's nice about this is that, the bugs on the rear view mirrors or whatever, you're going to be able to get up underneath the rain guards with this thing, and that really does push out a lot of water. Again, I would turn down your water pressure. Don't go full bore with this like I did. You're going to get some leakage out of that hosage. But you can get into some really tight areas underneath the truck. Windshield up on top right here. You can do the hood. It's no issue. Again, that soapage comes out of there, man. It's keeping that truck, that paint, moist. Now, where I think this thing really shines, again, is your grill. So we just took a road trip, and I don't know if we were hitting small birds or what the heck, but this thing was just littered with the nasty, like the bugs, the mosquito. I don't know what it was. There could have been a deer in there. All I'm telling you is this thing does a really good job getting into those weird areas. And the heavier buildup, it just takes it and
gets it right off of there. So I was really, really happy with the performance on that. Another issue that I have with the car washes is the back window. It never ends up doing the back window good. It's always just like a big smudge left on the back in the dirt. It just doesn't reach it when those rollers come down, or even the touchless ones. It just does a horrible job. This does a good job. I just wish this thing was a little bit longer. I wish the reach on this actually is 51 inches. And it is compatible with over 25 hex, shank, and triangle connector accessories. So they do carry this at the Home Depot. Now this thing's actually on sale right now. I'll leave a link in, well, it's the shopping bag that's attached to this video. It's $149. It's actually on sale. They actually carry them at the store as well, but it's 12% off. You're saving $20 right now. Now, as for your wheels, I would suggest, get the other smaller Ryobi cleaner. It'll do probably a better job in those tight nooks and crannies. However, this does do a pretty good job. You're not going to be able to get everything out of there. Yeah, I'm just telling you. But it's going to be a lot better than anything a car wash will do for you. Just telling you. I also like that you're able to do the inside. Once you adjust this thing up, you're able to do the underneath, the fender wells. So you can get in there and do some cleaning if you wanted to. You get the muddage up there. You don't want all that. You got a nice outside, but the inside or the underneath's all dirty. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You want to get that nice and moist in there as well.
So the question is, would I use this to wash my car again? Yes and no. So the things that I really do like about this is it does a really good job cleaning, especially the heavy debris. So if you haven't washed your car, your truck for quite some time, you might want to use this to get that heavy buildup, those bugs off the front of your grill and all that good stuff. The soap and water dispensary, it works very, very well. The soap does really good. A little bit goes a long way. And I believe you can buy smaller bristles for this if you wanted to, so you can get in even tighter areas. Now, I do wish it would telescope out a little bit further. That was the farthest I could bring it out like this, and then if you wanted to make it a little bit more compact, you could. I did find it a little bit aggravating that I had to adjust it so often. If you're up here and then down here and you go over here, it just, the different angles. So if you don't shut everything down, then you're gonna get the water on your face and your face is gonna get all moist. Moist. I did have some leaking out of this right here, even though you do have that seal in there. I think that's my bad, not Ryobi. So again, turn the water pressure maybe halfway up instead of all the way up, because you don't need all of that coming out of here. It's only gonna push out so much anyway. Now I do have a lifted truck because I'm a man. But if you have a car or a smaller truck that's not as high up in the air, I think this will work really good for you. I did like this. I'm not gonna use it every single time, but when I do have that buildup of the nasty up on the front of the grill, I think it does a far superior job than trying to get in there with like a sponge or something. I guess my biggest issue is I wish somehow this, where all your adjustments were sort of a little closer to this button here, if this was digital. I don't know, I'm just saying it's kind of a pain in the butt going back and forth a little bit. But all in all, it did a really nice job cleaning up of the truck. I don't know, let me know what you think in that sweet comment section below. We'll be back with more videos soon.